And yes, welcome to episode 13 of A Brief History of Nothing. I'm in fact James.
And I'm in fact not James.
No, he's in fact Ray, and I exist because he exists, because he is my dad. Anyway, and also you're a birthday boy today.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes. I'm celebrating my 36th anniversary of my 21st.
And my brain can't do maths at the moment. People at home get a calculator, work out how old he actually is. But he's slightly more older and slightly more decrepit than he was yesterday. Anyway.
Yes, okay, now, first up, I'm going to lead up with a very sad thing. In Brisbane overnight, there was a very tragic fire involving a family of 3 kiddies and the mother. I don't know if there was a father involved, but a little 11-year-old boy was trapped in the burning house in Brisbane's western suburbs and perished. So our thoughts are with the family today. Apparently the mother and the two girls that were in the house were saved by a very heroic neighbour. So, kudos to the neighbour. Thank you, for saving those people. Sorry to start off the downer, but I just wanted to make mention of that. Now, James, you want to make mention of this collection?
We have these yellow thing orbs, which you probably can't pick up real well on the camera, and we're completely breaking the rule of thirds by having this nearly the top of the frame. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to see how many lemons it took to charge a phone.
Yes.
But we've realised that we can get about 4 or 5 volts, right? But we can't get enough current. We're pushing up 5 microamps.
Yes, yeah, we've peaked at 4.6 volts, but yes, the amperage is a little bit low. So we'd basically have to fill the room to have enough lemons.
Yes, to have enough lemons. And see, can you hold that, please, Dad? Oh, hang on, we've got it tangled. We have this horribly tangled. Here we go. You want to hold that?
Okay.
That's the. I've got myself twisted here. And we need a cable untangling ceremony.
Okay.
Cue ceremonial music. Whatever. Right, if we put the negative on the negative and the positive on the positive, right, and how much volts are we getting? Can the camera see how many volts we're actually getting?
4.2, 3.6.
We've got about 4.2 at the peak there.
Yeah, no. At best it was 4.6.
About 4.6 volts. So we've got potentially enough to charge my Samsung Galaxy S3 Ace, which has a 3.8 volt battery, but we just don't have the current to do anything useful. What we would like
essentially you're telling me if you're stuck in a lemon orchard.
If we're stuck in a citrus orchard
with a flat mobile phone
and several and a big tub of nails, galvanised nails,
and a big roll of copper wire,
you
can charge your phone.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's. We've got useful consumer information
that you'll probably never use.
If you ever find yourself stuck in a citrus orchard with a flat phone, this is what you need to do.
Yes. What we would like to do at some point. And I don't know if we're going to do it recently. What we'd love to do is actually try and see if we can wind a starter motor over by getting buckets of vinegar and getting sheets of copper and galvanised steel, because it's the zinc that's the reaction, making the reaction. So if we get that and see if we can get enough current and enough voltage to actually wind a starter motor and maybe even jumpstart a 4-cylinder car. Maybe, we don't know.
Yep, we'll give it a try.
We'll give it a go.
Yes.
But this took a lot of effort to not work.
Okay, now we're going for numpties of the week this week. Really.
Oh yes, we're going for the forward-thinking and progressive part of society.
Yes. Well, Nick and Sarah Jensen, who say they're from Canberra, they say they want to divorce if gay marriage is made legal.
Because they're good little Christian people.
Yes, they're the sort of people that give
Christians a bad name.
Christians a bad name. Yes. And also there are a group of very conservative Christians that are working with government ministers to make sure that
the Christian lobby, yes,
that don't come. So yes, they're also giving out a negative on the Christian side. Look, if you're like the vast majority, the thing you want to do is the right thing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not going to affect anybody else's marriage.
There's going to be a negative group that are going to give you a bad name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And of course, it's of course it's not going to affect anyone else's marriage. If two people that happen just to be of the same gender
Yes, yes.
happen to love each other and want to get married, does it affect you? No, it doesn't. So drop it. But here we go. This pair has had some backlash, including, and I'll read from my piece of paper here, being uninvited from a friend's engagement party, having a massive party planned for their divorce, and fake gay dating profiles depicting Mr. Jensen.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh for poor Mr. Jensen, but
I
anyway.
think it's probably going a little bit. I mean, I understand the sentiment, and most gay people and most gay advocacy groups are going here. So, whatever.
Yeah, yes, but yes, it's sad. It just is really sad. Okay, now technological.
You had another science thing about the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes. What the technology they've developed from that Large Hadron Collider, if I get untangled my mouth, they're now using to preserve recordings, important recordings that may be lost either by the fact that the media they're on is degraded so far, or there's just nothing to play the recordings on anymore. And so what's happened is they've used
what is it?
I can't even pronounce his name. Vitaly Fadjiev.
I'll put it in the description, and maybe
It's
someone can Google that.
He's worked out some mathematical algorithms, and what happens is they take a very powerful microscope attached to a computer, and they take a digital map of the recording, and then so all the grooves are in the digital map, and then once the computer gets hold of it, these mathematical algorithms then turn it into digital sound from the map.
So you can, old recordings of things we're going to lose are now being digitally recorded.
Yes, like early recordings of native languages and things that were done when the people first stumbled across these tribes and things are now going to be preserved, which is a good thing.
Which is very good, yes. And speaking of science, I just wanted to quickly mention, it's not on here, but it's not on our script, but I just want to quickly mention the probe that got sent, the Europeans sent out to the comet.
Yes.
That is kicked over into life because it landed in a really shady part of the comet.
Right.
But now the comet's rotated, and now the solar panels have charged, and now the thing's booted back into life now.
Yeah, it was 7 months or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just going, no, sorry.
Just because I'm out of batteries. Sorry, guys. Now, on this day, other than him getting older...
Yes. Well, an American, their life got suddenly exciting because in 1884, in Coney Island, the first roller coaster opened in America. So there you go. You had, like being pushed around in a cart to being, flung around in a slightly bigger cart.
But I think it wouldn't be the most exciting roller coaster.
By today's standard, no, I think it'd be pretty tame. And for those who are into cars, 1903 saw the incorporation of the Ford Motor Company. Yeah, so,
Mr. Henry Ford, person, hujab, guy.
Yes, also on this day, Russia sent its first female cosmonaut into space on Vostok 6. Her name was Valentina, oh goodness me.
Tereshkanova. I think that's how, I probably butchered that.
But yeah, anyway.
Links in the description.
Yes,
as per usual.
Why can't Smith be a Russian name?
Because it's an English name coming from people who... I think, look, if you're a smith, you're a candy maker, or you're a blacksmith, or you were something.
Yes.
That's why Smith is just so common.
Yes. And 800 years ago today, the Magna Carta was signed by King John, being probably the first constitutional document in the world. It really didn't impinge on him too much, but yes.
He still didn't want to sign it. He still had to be pressured into signing the thing.
Yes. And famous birthdays. Me.
We're not famous yet, but
Geronimo, the native Indian chief, he was born on this day in 1829.
Right.
Stan Laurel, the comic, Laurel and Hardy, he was born in England in this day in 1890. Australian comedian Peter Hellier was born on this day, and Peter Sterling, NRL, National Rugby League. For those outside of Australia, that's
Basically, rugby, just simpler.
rugby is simpler and with more money.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not as international, although people from England and Canada would know what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, no, the United States has a rugby
League team or rugby union?
No, sorry, they have a rugby union team.
They are different sports.
Yes, I know that. No, league is played in several countries of the world.
South Africa, I think, of international, because international rugby league as well. But rugby league in Australia is big.
Yeah, rugby
Not to me, I just think it's a waste of time. But to almost everybody else on this continent, it's just the thing that we have to watch.
Tomorrow night in Melbourne, in Australia, they have a thing called State of Origin, where players who started playing football in either New South Wales or Queensland
go play in Melbourne.
Yeah, they're playing in Melbourne,
which is in Victoria.
Which is, of course, another state again, which you should do. So those whose state of origin is Queensland line up for the Queensland team, obviously, and those whose state of origin is New South Wales line up for the New South Wales team.
I was born in. Well, actually, it's funny because my mother, his former partner, was born in New South Wales. She vouches for Queensland. I was born in Queensland. I don't really care for football, but I vouch for New South Wales only to annoy people.
Yes.
That's the only reason to do it.
Yes, well, I have the opinion that a football team will win.
A football team will win. They may be wearing blue jerseys. They may be wearing maroon jerseys, but they will win.
Yes. As long as the proper team, the maroon one.
No, the blue one. The maroon one cheats. We know this. Yeah, they cheat.
We cheat by playing properly. All right, now that's us for the night.
Yep. All right.
Please comment.
Any funny
subscribe,
experiment? Yeah.
Like. We love to hear from you, so let us hear from you.
And if any funny experiments you want us to do, I am a nerd. I'm wearing a periodic table on my chest. So any experiment
we're having it tattooed on shortly.
Probably. Any experiments you want us to do, please suggest. And because it's a bit limiting in Australia what we can actually do, unless you go to university.
Nothing involving thermonuclear power. Sorry, that's out.
Well, we could try that, but we might flatten Brisbane, so we don't want to do that.
Yeah, and we really don't want to eat that many bananas.
Eat that many bananas?
Yes, they're radioactive.
Yeah, true. But you see, you have to eat 60 of them to have the equivalent of a chest X-ray, so don't panic.
So, to get a reaction would be...
That's a lot of it. No, we're not doing that experiment. This failed. We're not doing that experiment, okay? Anyway, see you guys.